Hello, faithful, and welcome to Niner Faithful Radio's playoff edition weekly news recap show. I'm your host, Jamie, and here's my co host, Jason.
How's it going, everybody?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our divisional playoff news recap show. The very classic old school rivalry coming at you for this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're gonna start talking a little bit of news and just preview the game a little bit. And yeah, we're gonna have a fun show. Um, as usual, please follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're on Twitter at 90faithfulr. We're on Facebook and Instagram at 90faithfulradio. And if you follow any of those, you'll be able to follow us on all of our platforms, and you'll be able to keep up with our schedules and everything, especially with the playoff games being at kind of non-traditional times a little bit. So you'll be able to keep up with us and all of what we're doing. So looks like we already have a comment. Damien, as always, hello.
What's up, Damien? How you doing, brother? Good to see you again, as usual.
As usual, hello.
So, because we drink, at least I drink, on our show all the time, it's my birthday, so I'm taking shots.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
We'll
In
see
the
how long,
comments,
we'll see
wish
how long
Jason a happy
the show
birthday.
goes.
For sure. No, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. For injuries, let's just get the injuries out of the way because actually, for the second week in a row, we don't have that many. We actually don't have hardly any. So here we go. We'll play a little clip here from Shanahan.
Garoppolo will be out. Emery Thomas out. That's it. All right, injury.
So that it. That's it. That's it, guys. Two injuries that have been pretty consistent the last few weeks. So nothing too surprising with that. I did hear that Jimmy was on the sidelines.
That's a no on the 211, my man.
Was on the sidelines working out, doing his own workout thing on the side of the field. So he's getting there. I did watch a little bit of Shanahan's presser earlier today, and he said there is a very small outside chance that Jimmy could play. Honestly, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. So
Jimmy is the Super Bowl backup. I mean, that's pretty much. He could maybe be back next week, but I really doubt it. Unless he's makes a miraculous, healing in like the next 3 or 4 days, he's not going to quite be ready to take that from Josh Johnson. So it's going to be Jimmy, because that's still 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So I mean that's prime time.
And he just got his boot off too, right?
Yeah.
His boot just came off, so like he can't have even. He probably doesn't even feel super comfortable walking with it completely yet. I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. So with those injuries, they're always a little bit finicky, but yeah. But that was just really that for Jimmy. I don't know how many of you guys are interested in that, but I
don't think Emery's coming back. I really don't.
I don't know how he had the ankle injury. I didn't realize it was that serious when it went down when he was on the injury report for the first time, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't see him coming back. Minus somebody in the secondary getting hurt, and he's not. I'm not sure how severe it is because it's been for so long, and it's almost like a Jimmy situation where we're not cutting him or anything like that. We're keeping him there to pull back.
But we're not putting him on IR either.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he's just being placed there just for the purpose of maybe we might need him, because we have had issues with secondary getting injured and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But other than that, everybody is good to go. Everybody is pretty healthy.
So nice.
Oh, this is awesome. Because I think last year in the playoffs, we were pretty banged up when we were entering the playoffs. Yeah. So this is a nice change of pace where we kind of got healthy right before the playoffs started.
Yep.
And we've been staying pretty consistently healthy. Dodged some pretty bad bullets, like that Debo thing last week could have been bad if it was real. If it could have been, but he wasn't on the injury report really, so he seems okay.
Again, going with the WWE comment with the Kerry Von Erich. Damn right. Yeah, he came back way too soon from that injury.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely agree that we should not rush anybody right now. just and regardless, to be honest, because that's how we end up with players not being completely healthy and having a lot of issues down the line, is because they try to rush back because they want to play so bad and want to be in those big games and whatnot, and they feel like they have to, and then just doesn't end up being the right move, unfortunately.
Yeah. And especially with our secondary right now, it's granted. I mean, we lost Emmanuel Mosley. We lost. So I mean, while we are down two quality starters right now, between Emmanuel Mosley and then Jason Verrett, Diamond Lenore, granted, he's been picked on a lot. Last week, he played his ass off. So, I mean, we're okay, with it right now, especially since we got Jimmy Ward playing the nickel, who he's been playing amazing at the nickel so far. So, I mean, like I said, let's not, I don't want to say worry about it, but, it's something to keep an eye on, but it's not terrible that we have Ambry out there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just hope that this week when we go through, we stay pretty much. Honestly, that's my biggest worry, is that we do not. Why them boys still talking trash that they blew it last year and the years before?
Because that's what Cowboys do. That's what that fan
we
voice
will. Does. We will be getting into it because there's been a lot of hot takes, especially today. Yeah. So many.
I mean, what do you expect? It's playoff football between this historic rivalry. Look, I hate the Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys, but damn it, I love playing them because win, lose, or draw. Like, I have quite a few Cowboys fans. It gets fun. It's a little bit. It's not as fun as with my Seahawk friends and stuff like that because I live up here in Seattle. But the rivalry with the Cowboys. That's what I grew up hating the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Because the Seahawks didn't come until later. But if it wasn't for me living here in Seattle, I would still hate the Cowboys more. But that's an old school one.
I think because I wasn't born yet during that time period. Unfortunately, I was born. Honestly, I was born the last year that we won a Super Bowl, so I didn't get to see any of them. But I don't have as much of a hatred for them just because I didn't grow up with that. I still do not like the Cowboys at all, but I don't have that underlining years of that with me, unfortunately. The Seahawks bug me 10 times more, and I think that's just because of me watching those games live and all that stuff. I just have more of a connection with
your generation.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But this game, I think this Cowboys game, Niners game, is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be crazy. I feel like the Cowboys are feeling themselves a little bit because they finally won a playoff game for, I think, was the first time in a long time.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk my camera real quick so I can do something. I'll be right back.
No worries. So everybody is going to be. It's just everybody's going to be very, very. It's going to be very hot. Everybody's going to be feeling it. Just coming out on fire, wanting to play, and I think I was going to be regardless. But I feel like with how big this rivalry has been and all of that, and just like these two classic, honestly, two of the biggest brands in the league, honestly. Yeah, like coming together, playing in a divisional round, and these are normally all overall really, because we got actually quite a few really good games in this round that are going to be a lot of fun. So it's just going to be interesting to see how it goes moving forward. I'm honestly, the one thing I'm the most worried about, to be honest, is how hopefully that the O-line can hold up and give Brock Purdy enough time to keep doing what he's doing, because Dallas, I think, has some of the best pass rush that I think Purdy's going to see, except for maybe Washington with Chase Young and stuff. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about, to be honest with you. Like, I think he's going to be fine, but that's one thing where I feel like if that D-line comes out on fire and is pushing, especially that one side of the O-line a little bit, we could have some problems.
Definitely, because they do have a pretty good pass rush, especially with. I mean, we all know Michael Parsons. Yeah, exactly. Michael Parsons. What's his name?
Bruce Irvin.
Durant Armstrong.
Yep.
Marcus Lawrence. Those guys. I mean, they can get after it really good, and they're quick. So especially McGlinchey has been playing really good pass blocking the last couple of months or so, but he has had an issue, especially with really quick first step defensive ends. So, we'll see what happens. But we can always pull in George or the misdirection stuff that we're really good with. I trust Shanahan's going to do something to slow that down as much as he can.
I think he will too. I think he's gonna. I think and what he's been doing is been trying to. He's going to be trying to put the team, the offense, in the best possible position that he can against this team. And I feel like they're just doing what they normally do. They're coming up with their game plan because the Cowboys have been talking nonstop since they won Monday night.
Michael Parsons just said, "I want you."
Yeah.
I mean, and then what else did he say? Something about I grew up in Harrisburg. We don't get bullied. We are the bullies. And then after the game last week, they were chanting, "We want the 49ers." I'm like, hey, like I said, y'all really wanted to smoke? We are not, the same defense with only two good defensive linemen. We're not the same offense run by a 90-year-old Tom Brady, who for the first time in a couple of years looked like he was 45 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't, yes, we have a young quarterback in Brock Purdy, but we're not asking Brock Purdy to go out there and throw for, even though he has thrown for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, kind of a thing.
I know. Can you believe he's the first one who's the first. He had 4 touchdowns, the 1 rushing touchdown, and then 3 passing, and he's the only quarterback to do that since Montana and Young.
Yeah,
in a playoff game.
We're not asking him to do that.
He doesn't have to.
Exactly. So he's, like I said, it's just he just needs to get the ball out. So it's like, while there is pressure on him, like I said, we're not. Like I said, you don't have to go out there and be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Burrow.
If you can, it'd be nice, but you don't have to.
Yeah, just like last week. Like last week was icing on the cake, but like I said, we don't necessarily need him to get those. We need him to just get to the ball to everybody else.
He just has to not turn over the ball. He just has to take care of the ball, because that's what the game is going to come down to, because it's going to come over to turnovers like any other game, especially this one, because I feel like whatever team capitalizes on those turnovers the most is going to win, because that's what it's going to come down to. And if the offense can keep doing what they're doing and the defense to still be really, really solid and keep doing what they've been doing, I feel like we're going to be fine. But the one thing is the offense just has, because since the offense has taken off since we've had Purdy, I feel like it's taken a little bit of that stress off of the defense.
Oh, for sure.
And it's probably helped a little bit, because normally we rely on the defense to carry us through these big games and have them just shut the other team almost completely down, or try to. And so now that the offense is putting up almost 40 points a game, it's going to be interesting.
34.8.
34, 35 points a game, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
When was the last time we had an offense this, you know what I mean?
This is what's so scary, is if the offense finally starts clicking and being consistent like we've been wanting since Shanahan's been here, for the most part, and our defense stays playing at this high of a level.
I mean, honestly, who stops us at that point?
For real. Like, the only other team I'm worried about going forward is Kansas City, because of Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like he literally, and I know I watched a lot of podcasts this week and talking about it, and one guy said the same thing, and I agree, because like Mahomes is the only one who, with that firepower, who probably keep up with point wise. So it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna just be interesting. It's just crazy how the offense has just kind of flipped the second half of the season, and now it's kind of giving us an idea of like, oh, this is what Shanahan has been wanting.
Oh yeah, this is definitely what he's been wanting.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like this is what we've all been like. We see what he wants to do, and he's finally able to do it. One, he's having a quarterback who can get the players the ball, and now he has Christian McCaffrey, who another playmaker that the defense has to take account of. And like we said every week, you can't account for everybody. You just can't. You're gonna leave somebody open. You just are. So
there's just too much. There's too much to cover. You know, if you want to go, you know, George Kittle could be a number one.
George Kittle's taken back off again. He got like 2 touchdowns a game. It felt like for like that 3 or 4 game stretch.
Yeah. So you want to put your number 1 corner in Debo? Okay, you can leave your, you know, and arguably another one wide receiver in Ayuk open somewhere.
Ayuk would have caught that pass.
He's beating himself up over that though.
I mean, he must be so disappointed because that was it.
I think he was running around for 9 seconds. I was like, Jesus! Not imagine. And then it's not even that he got it close; he hit him in the hand.
I know.
It was in the perfect spot, kind of.
That was crazy. That's the play where I'm like, oh my god, because you know if he catches that, that's going down in like Niner history.
Is that on the Niner playlist on Spotify? Because I swear I've heard that. I know you're saying it's a new track, but I swear I've been saying that same thing. Or I've seen that same, the name of that song on my Niner Spotify playlist. Let's see, then Damien's chiming in. Ayuk will drop a couple every game. I think it's just that with the one that we were talking about in the end zone, it's just that he was, you know, Brock was running around all over the place. And it's just like he was back there. That was a very, you know, Russell Wilson type play where you just run around constantly until someone gets open. And he just happened to hit him in the hands and he dropped it. But other than that, I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, so if it is that song that I've heard, that song is actually pretty badass. I was listening, like I said, I was listening to it last Sunday before I went to the watch party up at the bar I was at.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been this pumped for a playoff game. I feel like because it was the Seahawks last week, I was just more nervous because I just always get nervous before those games. My anxiety always spikes.
Yeah.
But with this one, I'm just more excited.
I get more nervous because all the trash talk I've done here in Seattle.
I feel you. I feel that.
So the bar I was at, I kid you not, we were in downtown Seattle. It was 90% 49er fans. I was like,
really?
Where am I in Frisco? Am I in the Bay Area? Like, what the hell? Like, it was nuts. Like whenever the Seahawks did it was like, okay. Niners are the whole place is blowing up. I was like, gee. I was like, wow, this is insane. Like,
that's crazy.
I've gone to this bar before and I've seen it. It's usually about 50-50. But, you know, I went there this weekend or last weekend. It was just completely packed. I was like, holy shit.
That's crazy. That's fun. That's cool. But yeah, I think one thing though is that I really hope they don't start off as slow as they did in the first half of last week, and keep it close. Because I kept checking the score at work during that time, and I was just like, "Why is it like 6-7? Why is it 13-14?" I mean, I was just like, "What is happening?"
You're still talking about a divisional, you know.
I know.
Playoff. These guys have seen each other over and over. Excuse me. And the halftime was a little bit misleading because the squib kick after we scored was stupid. I have no idea why the hell we squib kicked that. You should have just knocked, you know, kicked them back or whatever. But it said they're starting on like the 35 or the 40. I can't remember what it was. It was way up far compared to, like I said, if we kicked it out or whatever.
And then had that really bad
penalty. And that's stupid. I mean, don't ever go for that, Jimmy. Don't. You're just going to get called for it. He didn't hit him hard. It's just, but just like the optics of it are just terrible, and they're going to call it every single time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to the Packers.
Yeah. Oh man. I still find that hilarious with the Lions beating the Packers in that last game. It was great.
Yeah. My wife was not too happy. She was.
No,
you know, she's a Packer fan, so she was all mad and shit. I was like, I just might sleep on the couch because she's ultra competitive with this shit. You know, she's just she roots for her team like we root for ours, and like she was just like, I was like, it's like throwing candy at her and shit.
Oh man. I follow a couple. I just like following random people with football takes over online. And so I follow I found this one girl. I forgot her name. She doesn't it's not she is a Packers fan, but she does like those skits with all the teams. I'll
Mm-hmm.
have to find her name. I think it's like Annie or something like that or whatever. She's hilarious. She's very funny. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, it's just gonna be
He did not.
he did not double check. I forgot he used to do that.
I know, right? It's been a few years.
Yeah, but it's gonna be. I'm just excited because I feel like one, the media is really picking the Cowboys to win. One
Yeah,
thing
they are. It's
for real.
insane. Like I
A lot of
expected them to
people.
be like 50-50 because it was playoffs. Cowboys always get hyped in the playoffs every
Mm-hmm.
year, no matter what. So I expected and I was expecting and predicted 50-50. But
Mm-hmm.
everything I see out there today is it's like 75-80. I'm like, what the hell?
I think I only saw one media, like actual official media group. I think it was NFL. It was a very small one. It's one I don't normally see, but they were in the ESPN or NFL office or something. I will have to find it on Twitter. They're the only ones that unanimously pick the Niners.
I think
Everybody else has.
that was NFL.com.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, they're the only ones that I've seen have unanimously picked the Niners, and everybody else I've seen mostly Cowboys, and then some Niners.
It's got to be because of Brock.
I
I
feel
think
like people are
they're
still
waiting for that
waiting.
fall off. Yeah, they're waiting for that fall off. Oh, look, now he looks like Mr. Irrelevant. I think that's what they're waiting for. It's like, when is this kid going to show up to be, this is the reason why we picked you dead last in the draft kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, we beat them by every metric we look at.
We do. Because we are, like, don't get me wrong, the Cowboys are a good team, but, like, I feel like we're much more well rounded overall. Like, and we put a lot of strength into our defensive line. And with one of their tackles officially ruled out today.
Jason Peters.
Yes. That's going to give a lot of opportunity for our edge rushers, especially Bosa, who did not have any stats on the stat sheet last week, but was still playing and whatnot.
He had a ton of pressures, though.
He did get a ton of pressures?
Yeah, he had quite a few pressures.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's just going to be.
You need to start doing stand up, brother.
That's hilarious.
I mean, like I said, I'm not worried about, I'm not paying attention to it per se kind of a thing. It's just, I find it interesting if you look at, offensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, defensive line, running backs, wide receivers. Overall, you could argue that the only one, and even this again, you can argue it, I'm not going to take it, that the only position group that they are better at us right now is because of quarterback. And not necessarily because Dak's a better quarterback, but because he's a more veteran quarterback. Yeah. Whether or not he's better than Brock, we can argue that. But they'll always give the veteran quarterback the benefit of the doubt. So if you go by that, okay, I'll give you the Cowboys have the better quarterback. Everything else is either equal or Niners. There's nothing else where they have a definitive edge overall. Because CeeDee Lamb is a great wide receiver, but after that, their wide receiver core falls off tremendously. Michael Gallup and Ty Hilton haven't done crap all year. Okay, you want to say, CeeDee Lamb and Debo are tied as number one receivers. Brandon Ayuk is far and beyond anything that they have. Oh, and by the way, we have this guy named Third and One, and Juwan Jennings. What do you got as a third down receiver? Ty Hilton, who's caught like 5 passes all years. So like I said, it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't to me either, but I'm not trying to pay too much attention, but I had some extra time today, so I was just looking online and stuff and seeing what people are saying. Generally just because I'm curious. And I feel like overall we're just overall more well-rounded. And I do agree that the only position that you could argue with is quarterback and position group, and that's just because Dak is a more veteran quarterback, and they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, that makes sense. And the quarterback arguably is the most one of the most important positions on the whole team. Um, so we'll just I don't know. I still feel like, and they're making a big deal about
beating the Bucks.
Beating the Bucks. But and they've also been complaining about being on a short week since they played Monday night and then that we played Saturday.
And there is something to that, but
it
not
is
that much of a swing.
It is. It's like, and I know they've been on the road a lot lately. I think
that's the 5th game in a row that'll be on the road.
Yeah, I think so. So they haven't had many home games lately. So, and I do agree that there is probably something to that. But it's just kind of what happens. And we played on a short week the Seahawks week though, because we had to play Saturday, so we didn't get the extra day. So
very true.
I mean, I don't know. It's just gonna be. It is what it is. At least it's a Sunday game. At least they didn't give us a Saturday game, so not even a shorter week. So
that would have really fucked over the Cowboys that we played on Saturday. Like, I hate this whole I really don't. I think this Monday night playoff thing is completely stupid. I really play all the games on the weekend, but this Monday night thing is complete bullshit. I don't give a damn who plays on that. It's stupid. It's just a money grab by the NFL, and I somehow hope it goes away.
Because there were 6 games, right? They could have done 3 and 3.
Like they did it Saturday.
Yeah, like they could have just done the 3 and 3 thing. I don't understand why they put one game on Monday night. Like, I think you're right. It wasn't. Yeah, it's the money.
100% what it is, because we all tuned in. We all watched it.
Yeah.
The NFL knows they can put a game on Tuesday morning. We'd probably all get up and watch it before work.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, perfect example is Tampa Bay
and Washington. When they played Washington, they it was bad. I think they struggled really hard in that game. So, I don't know. And we beat Washington pretty handily that week when we played them. So
we had a slow start, but it was just like the Seahawks game. Slow start up to half, and then we just started rolling.
Yeah. I do think their defense is going to be one of the tougher ones that Brock has faced, playing, not including doing scout for our team and playing against our defense in practice and stuff. But
I love that by Fred.
Say it again.
What Fred said, he was like, "Of course he's good. He played against the number 1 defense all year in practice squad." I love that everybody just going to bat for him.
It's true.
I saw one thing where after he made the team, Trent Williams pulled him aside after practice. He's like, "Good job." He's like, the fact that you were Mr. Relevant and you made the team is one of the most impressive things I've seen from a rookie ever. And I thought, from someone like Trent Williams, for him to pull you aside and, personally congratulate you for making the team from that draft status kind of thing, I thought that was pretty cool of Trent to do.
Oh, no, that's good. And I think that's just a testament to the team in general and to the players that we've drafted, is that they really do care about each other, and they try to and regardless of what you think of next man up mentality that they have, they always try to support whoever they have as their starters and always have their backs for the most part. So
compared to what us fans do sometimes, it's kind of crazy how it's like the fan base will just jump down somebody's throat instantly, and it's kind of funny, like the whole Jimmy thing. A lot of fans, I'll include myself to an extent. I'm not as bad as a lot of people are, but I have given Jimmy some shit. Yeah. As soon as Jimmy starts playing bad, all of a sudden everybody's got pitchforks and everything like that. But as soon as it starts getting that bad, especially when it comes to the media and stuff like that, they circle the wagons real quick when it comes to team. Look, this is our teammate. We're gonna pump you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like they do defend teammates very well with this. Like I said, they're all about team with this. So they've done a really good job in cultivating that culture to where, like I said, we may not get it as fans and stuff like that, but they get look, yeah, he's may got issues, but we're still going to talk to him like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread because we need him to be that good. So
we need to bring him up. We need to try to not bring him down, because it's also just it's a good thing. I mean, I feel like they need not be too overly positive, but I feel like you can't always just be dragging the guy down either, because that's not a good good option either, to be honest.
And even sooner one was last week versus the Seahawks. Sometime during the week, Ryan's pulled Diamador Lenore's side. He's like, look, I'm not saying you're the weakest link, but you are the one that's going to get picked on. We need you to pick. We're going to go as far as you can pick up your play. And you can tell the Seahawks were going after Diamador, and he stood up. So I think it's that kind of reinforcement and challenge kind of thing that pushes people to get better on this team. Because I'm sure Kyle Shanahan has said the same thing to Jimmy how many times. I'm sure he had a similar talk with Brock, like, look, you're Mr. Irrelevant. You're a third-string quarterback. You shouldn't have even made this team. You're now the starting quarterback. Show me why you played. I'm sure, and obviously it probably wasn't those exact words, but I'm sure something like that was said to him to where, yes, I believe in you, but you also need to bring it.
You also need to prove to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have to have that balance of like, I believe in you. I believe you can do it. But you also have to hold up your end of the bargain and show me why you should be here. And Brock has been doing that since he started, pretty much. Like and I don't know what it is. I don't know it. Like I was watching a YouTube channel, and they're breaking down some of his throws and whatnot. Literally, like breaking down like some from like the Tampa game, Seattle game, like all these different things, and I think he's just in the perfect kind of system with Kyle, and he has. And I think the one thing I've been thinking about it is what is he doing different than Jimmy, and like, and I don't want to include Trey in this situation because I feel like I haven't seen enough of Trey really to make a call about that. But I'm just going to use Jimmy. Is he has this quickness and the agility that he can avoid the sacks and like the pressure coming at him and get out of the pocket that I feel like Jimmy had in 2017, and then when he had the ACL,
he lost
it, and he doesn't want to make those lateral movements and stuff as much because of his knee. And that honestly could be a big reason of what's been going on with Jimmy, and I would not be surprised if that is the case. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've been noticing that because Brock does remind me quite a bit of like 2017 Jimmy when we traded for him and how good he looked that in those games and whatnot.
Yeah, Jimmy was never a burner, and let's be honest, Brock Purdy is not a burner. But like you said, it was the little movements that he made to get himself that extra couple of seconds in order to make those deeper throws, or
and he can get over to the side of the field pretty quickly. Like he's not super slow. Like he's made some off schedule plays. We've already kind of seen that for the most part, where like the play kind of almost breaks down, and so he's trying to find somebody open, and he's moving around trying to get away from the rushers and the D line and all of that stuff. And like he has that mobility that I feel like we haven't had in a quarterback yet, and that's why I'm not including Trey yet in that, because I feel like I haven't seen enough of Trey to really make that.
I think we could say Trey is a much more mobile quarterback.
Oh yeah, he is for sure. Yeah.
I think the biggest difference between Trey and Brock right now is the experience of Brock playing 4 years in college, and unfortunately, Trey had 1 year in college, one amazing year in college, but he hasn't played football in almost 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So
and that is honestly, yeah.
Whereas we've always said Trey needs reps, Brock already has those reps. Yes, he may be less of a physical specimen than Trey is, but mentally, he is where we expected Trey to be next year. But you have to go through that. So I think that's the biggest difference to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll see. I mean, I'm just honestly just very excited just to see these team plays. Both of these team play. I have a coworker at work who's a Cowboys fan, so it might get interesting.
It's fun, ain't it?
Oh, I think we're gonna have a fun time.
You're on my Facebook, right? Yeah, I got you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Look at so one of my best friends here, name is Clark, and then one of my best friends back from Japan, Rodney. Just look at the threads we've got going on my Facebook. I mean, it's getting ugly. It's like I wouldn't say this to my enemies, but these are some of my best friends, and we are it's no holds barred.
It's hilarious. He's a new coworker, so I can't say I know him super well yet, but I found out he was a Cowboys fan. Because you remember those are kind of the icebreakers you started talking about, and then because it was like his first Sunday working for us, so he ended up and he kept checking his score, and it's actually when the Cowboys Washington game was popping up, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? He's like, my team's losing. I'm like, who's your team? And he's like, the Cowboys. And then I just kind of did that. Oh no, it was funny. It's gonna be good times.
I was at the gym on Monday or Wednesday. I can't remember what it was. And there was a guy there that had like a Cowboys protein bottle a shaker. Okay. And so we were working out right next to each other. I've got my Niners. All I had on was my Niners hat, and all he had was the Cowboys hat. And I forget what he was repping on the pull down bar. And I was like, I looked over and I was like, if you're a Cowboys fan, you put another 45 pounds in there. He's like, the fuck you talking about? I'm like, bang, bang, brother. He's like, oh, fuck. And all of a sudden, I'm sparking up a conversation with this guy. I've never talked to him before. So I love the fact that, you can do that with any guy, even or any team. Like I said, I love shit talk. I love trash talk. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, don't be an ass about it. Like at the bar I was at, there was one guy just being a complete and utter asshole. I mean, just a fucking jerk. He was a younger guy, probably had way too much to drink. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I don't mind the trash talk. I think that's fun, all that kind of good stuff. But at one point, I was like, dude, if you don't shut the fuck up. Like I said, he was just digging in. And, there's just like a couple of ladies there with their guys. And it's just like, dude, stop. What do you mean, man? We're on the same team. I'm like, yeah, we're cheering for the same team right now, but you are being a disrespectful asshat right now. Yeah. I was like, you are not showing the kind of class someone needs to show.
You gotta have that balance.
Yeah, it's I'm talking trash with all the guys up here because I was sitting up at the bar and he was sitting next to me at the bar, but he was talking shit to like the people sitting in the booth behind us. I was like, I'm talking shit with everybody up here, but you know what? At the end of the night, I bet you these guys are gonna shake my hand. I've made new friends. All you've made is a bunch of enemies in this bar. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, sit down, shut the fuck up, and let me buy you a drink.
Because there's a difference between fun and good spirit trash talk and just and making it fun, and then there's that line where it becomes like just complete.
It's always a young idiot who doesn't know how to handle his alcohol every single time.
It's true. I mean, I remember we watched, when was it? 2019, the Packers watched a Packers-Niners game. Not the playoff one, but the regular season one at Levi's, the night game. Where like one of the first plays was a Nick Bosa strip sack or something. My brother is a Packers fan. Some bizarre reason. Yeah. Me and my dad start losing our crap, like, because we're getting all hyped up and excited. My brother just starts shaking his head and just, it could be fun, but you just gotta be
but why
not an asshole about it at all. That's really the biggest thing. And, just don't be jerks about it. You don't, because that takes the fun out of it for everybody. So. Yeah.
But back to the game.
Do you have any score predictions or anything like that you think?
Do you want me to go over the Cowboys quick review stuff?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Let me grab my notebook here. All right, so obviously their offense was ranked number 11th in the league, averaging 27.5 a game, with about 350 yards per game. Obviously, their quarterback was Dak Prescott for most of the year. He did miss 5 games where the Cooper Rush took over. Honestly, if this team was led by Cooper Rush, I'd be a little bit more worried than Dak Prescott.
Is he mobile?
Yes, both of them are mobile, but there's just something about Cooper Rush I find a little bit like, I'd be more worried about you than Dak. Like I feel like with Dak, we know your weaknesses. Cooper Rush didn't play enough to where we can quite figure him out.
Can't figure it out. Okay.
Yeah. So he had a QBR 57.9. He threw 2,800 yards, 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Now, with that 15 interceptions, he was tied for the league, and again, did not play for 5 games. So had he played those 5 games, he'd probably be, obviously leading the league, probably pushing at least 20 or so. Mm-hmm. So he's up there with, I think it was Davis Mills from the Texans had 15, and then Josh Allen had 14.
Yes.
Let's see. So there's that. Their backfield is going to be led by Pollard and Zeke. This is no longer an Ezekiel Elliott backfield. This is a Pollard backfield. Zeke is now the secondary back. Zeke is not what he used to be. Pollard is so much better. He's much more versatile. He's a lot faster than Zeke is. The two of them combined for about 1,800 yards and about 24 total touchdowns. The one really good weapon they have on their offense is obviously going to be CeeDee Lamb. He had 107 catches, 1,350 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He runs some of the best routes in the NFL. He is fast. He's got really good hands. Like I said, he's a damn good wide receiver. Let's see. So also with their wide receivers, they have Ty Hilton and Michael Gallup, neither of whom are terribly good. Ty Hilton is not the Ty Hilton that used to play for the Colts. And then I think their second best receiver on that team is actually going to be their tight end, Dalton Schultz. Really good. He comes up clutch all the time. Really good, sure hands. Not a speed burner or anything a lot like that. A lot like Kittle is going to be. Probably not as fast as Kittle is, but that same sort of attitude and style of playing tight end.
Cool.
Their defense gives up about 20.1 points per game. For reference, the Niners put up 16.3, and they give up 330 yards per game. The Niners give up 300. Their defensive line is obviously with Dorrance Armstrong and DeMarcus Lawrence. Two of them, they're going to be speed rushing. They're going to be coming quick and on the edges. Their linebacking core is obviously the best. You've got Micah Parsons, probably the number 2 or 3 defensive player in the league, depending on who you talk to. He's not going to be your defensive player of the year. And if he is, I think we are going to burn something down. There's no reason why. Yeah, there's no reason why Bosa should. Bosa has more.
If Bosa doesn't win it, I'm legit afraid for Twitter because it's going to be a freaking hellscape. Yeah, because it's going to be a mess.
He missed a game and a half, has more sacks, doesn't have as many tackles, but more tackles for loss. He's got more pressures, everything. He leads in every category. There's no reason why. And I don't know why there's a huge push for him to be defensive player of the year. I honestly think most of it's coming from Skip Bayless and his big mouth.
Probably.
So there's that. They have Trayvon Diggs in the defensive backfield. He had 59 tackles, 14 passes defended, and 3 picks. So he's more likely he's going to be stuck to Debo all day. And honestly, I want them to run at Trayvon Diggs all day long. He cannot tackle for shit. He is scared to tackle. So I want them to run every play at him. I don't give a damn what side he is, where he's lined up, run at him. He is terrible at tackling. He is scared at tackling. He does not want this team. Every offensive weapon on this team will put a shoulder down and stick him to the ground. So like I said, I don't care if we're running to the left. If he lines up right, switch the play. Reverse it.
If they don't like the physicality, if they don't want to tackle, this is not the team that you should be facing because they're just going to run people over.
And like I said, their front 7, they will tackle. In this defensive backfield, like I said, their biggest weakness is going to be Diggs tackling. So like I said, I think we need to go after him and just be physical all day long. When it comes to betting, the over-under is at 46 points. I'm going to take the under. I'm hoping that we get a little bit of a blowout going there, and we just kind of I'm hoping that the Cowboys don't end up with just Tavon Chase. Yeah, I did lay into him, man. But it's true. Look at it. He does not like to tackle. He likes making those big plays, but he does not want to put in the dirty work to actually get a lot of that other stuff.
Yep.
So the spread right now, it wasn't right now. It looks like they are taking the Niners at 4, so they are predicting us to win by 4 points.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that high, 46 points. I feel like I'm going to take the under 2. I mean, I hope we win by more than 4 points. But I feel like this could end up being a close game if it gets out of hand. If we start slow.
Yeah, they're a very streaky team. It's again, this is a team that has made it before. They're going to come off a high from beating the Bucks last week. So I mean, like we've said before, any given Sunday could happen, but everything points that I'm not going to necessarily it's going to be a blowout per se, but this is a game that we should win on the easy end of things.
As long as we just keep doing what we're doing, take care of the football, and just keep our offense keeps being at the level it's at, and our defense keeps being at the level it's at, I think we'll be okay.
And I want to put this one up there just because I like this comment.
It's hilarious. Damien, you're very, very funny. Oh, very funny.
I've got us winning 34-13 or 30-13.
30-13? I see that. It's yeah. I could see 30-20. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna win by more than 4 points, but I still feel like it's gonna be not as big of a gap. I would like your score, the 30-10 or 30-13, makes me feel more comfortable, but I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be with how classic of a rivalry, playoff rivalry this is, and everything like that. It's just gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be very. I feel like there's a reason they put this as the last game on Sunday night. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah, there's a definitive reason. There's a definite reason why this is the last game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the ticket prices? It is insane.
Oh my god, it's insane. Like, you literally, I just glanced. I was just curious, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're starting.
You can go to all 3 games for the price of this one. That is insane. Like, if you can fly around, if you got the jet, you can go to all 3 games, and you won't even come close to the price. I saw one ticket sold for $52,000. I was like, holy shit.
That's so much money.
And to be fair, I would pay that.
If I had that money, if I had it, I would probably pay it too.
I would.
If I had the means, yeah. If any of you guys are listening or going to the game or know somebody who's going to the game, have fun, enjoy it. It should be the weather. Be loud. The weather looks like it's going to be very nice this weekend, so you don't have to worry about the weather this weekend. Should be a beautiful day. So
yeah, beautiful day to kick some cowboy ass.
For real. All right. Well, anything else? Did we miss anything else, or you want to do predictions for the rest of the playoff games?
Yeah. Let me pull that up. I had it. So the Chiefs and Jaguars. I like the story of the Jags. I just don't see them beating them.
Listen, I have a cousin who's a Chargers fan, and he's going through not a good time right now.
Yeah.
So
I cannot believe they came back and won that game.
Listen. I like the Chargers because I have a cousin who likes the Chargers. I don't hate them, and I like Herbert a lot.
Yeah.
But man, that's rough. It's very rough. I like the story of the Jags too. I would love for the Jags to take out Kansas City. I would absolutely love it. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think if there's
it'll be a miracle, and if they can pull it off, do it. But I can't see it.
If there's a game that ends up being a blowout, that's gonna be it.
Probably, to be honest.
Giants, Eagles. I'm going to be rooting for the Giants, and that hopefully we win, and then we get the home game in the NFC Championship game.
I want the Giants. I do very much so. I mean, didn't they beat? Well, the Eagles pulled out. Who pulled out their starters in the Eagles Giants game a couple weeks ago?
Giants.
Giants
they had
pulled
nothing
their starters.
Yeah, because they had. Whether win or lose, they didn't have they couldn't change their position in the playoffs.
Okay. Man, I would love for the Giants to win.
And again, if we have to play the Giants again, that's another old school rivalry from the 80s.
Literally, like we could have played the Seahawks, the Cowboys, then the Giants, and then if we end up making it all the way, it's probably gonna be Kansas City, more than likely.
If you want to go old school rivalry, I wouldn't mind seeing the Bengals have a repeat of the Super Bowl.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that either, to be honest. We'll have to see. I don't know who, like, the Bengals make me the most nervous. No, they don't make me the most nervous, but, like, with Jamar Chase and everything like that going on over there, that'd be something that I feel like is going to be our defense with our corners might struggle with a little bit, covering those guys.
I want to say Bengals, but the whole DeMar Hamlin thing, I really want. It seems like they have the team of
the
destiny.
Bills are on fire. Like the Bills got to be like hyped up right now.
It's going to be interesting because I think DeMar Hamlin's supposed to be. There's a good chance he's going to be at the game.
Oh, if he's going to be at the game, then it's over.
Yeah, it's just like, and honestly, if there's a moment I want to see DeMar Hamlin and T. Higgins just stand there and hug it out because that would just be amazing to just see the man was dead for a few minutes or so. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and T. Higgins. While nobody was blaming him, he had some self guilt going into that. After that whole thing. To see the two of them to get together at midfield, like before the game, and just like hug it out, kind of thing. Like I'm gonna be like, who's cutting onions in here?
I know.
I think if had all of that not happened, I think I would take the Bengals for the most part. But with everything going on with DeMar Hamlin, the Bills, they've got that emotional stuff going on. I think I'm going for that. I think I'm gonna pull for them.
Yeah.
All right, we got Daniel Stone showing up. Bang not again, my brother. How you doing, brother?
Hello. Sorry, guys, if you can hear my dogs in the background, they're being real stupid right now. Just give them a minute.
They're just saying bang bang.
They're saying bang bang. They're reacting to the show. Is what's happening. But yeah, I think that's also why, like, honestly, the Bengals, the Chiefs, or the Bills, I really don't want anything to do with any of them for different reasons. They all have like a different thing that makes me nervous. And just with the Bills and everything going on with Hamlin and stuff, I'm just like, they're just gonna have that more of a drive going on. So it's just gonna be it's gonna be tough. Now Josh Allen, with all the high turnovers, is
carrying so hard. He's trying so hard to carry that team.
He really is. So we'll just have to see. I mean, I would love for the Jags to win. I don't see it happening. I'm gonna do Jags, Giants, and I'm blanking.
Bills and Bengals.
Bills or Bengals. I'm gonna go Bills. I don't know. I think they're gonna do it.
Hey, Daniel, throw your prediction in the chat real quick. Unfortunately, you were coming in at the end of this podcast for the most part, but let's get your prediction up real quick. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the same thing. I think we agree with the Chiefs are going to be the Jags.
Yeah. I would not be upset if the Jags somehow pull it off. I would not be upset at all.
I don't. I think the upset will come from the Giants. And like I said, I'm pulling for that one just so we get the home field advantage in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Bills, Bengals. Because to be honest, when you look at both franchises, I really don't have an issue with both franchises, with either one of them.
Same.
It's like, especially like the Bills Mafia. I think the Bills Mafia is fucking insane.
And Gore was on the Bills for a minute, and they loved him too. Mm-hmm. So it's just like.
And the Bengals, like, I love what they do. Like, the Bengals fans were the ones that started the whole donating to DeMar Hamlin's thing. And then, who was it? Was it Fitzpatrick a couple years ago? They started donating to him because they got them into the playoffs. And so they were donating to his charity. Like, so I thought that was like, so it's like, I don't necessarily want you to win, but if you won, I'd be like, good job.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, just because they're both fan bases are really good.
Yeah, and both Burrow and Allen are both really good.
Really good.
So it's and both very hard not to like even just remotely like either one of them. So
I said this to somebody the other weekend. They're like, and is Joe Burrow not what everybody thought Baker Mayfield was going to be? With the whole cocky ass attitude and everything like that. I was like, Joe Burrow is what everybody thought we were getting with Baker Mayfield, but he actually plays good quarterback. What is up, Kev? How you doing, brother? Thank you very much, man. Thanks for showing up, brother.
And if you guys still in here, throw in your predictions if you want to, your playoff predictions, and we'll read them off.
I will say this. Kev is part of the the Niner Gang Talk, Real Talk Niner Talk on their YouTube channel. Bunch of good guys. Thank you for showing up, Kev.
But yeah, it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be fun. I mean, these are gonna be some really great games. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good birthday. Except this weekend, obviously, with me and my birthday, like I said, I'm gonna have a bunch of fun this weekend. Sunday, I'm gonna have all the boys over. We're gonna watch the game. The diet's out the window. I don't give a shit what's going on for this game. I mean, I'm roasting a prime rib, and then we're gonna make roast beef sandwiches. The wife is gonna be. I'm also making some Thai chili wings. The wife is making little smokies. My other boy's bringing over some pork belly stuff, so it's good stuff.
Oh, you're gonna have an awesome time. Sounds great.
No, you cannot, man. Jaymie was saying earlier, Jaymie doesn't work Fridays. She was off today. All she did all day long was watch nothing but Niners.
Literally, I normally work Fridays, and I was off today, so I literally have been listening nonstop to all the podcasts all day, watching all the YouTube videos, a lot of stuff today. And so it's just like, I think that's what's so great is that we have so much great content creators out there and just a lot of content just go through.
Yeah, there's
everybody's different opinion, and it's great. Honestly.
What I like is I won't, like I said, I usually jump around to a lot of streams. I don't necessarily like the content some people put out. That's just like, and it's not necessarily that I think they're wrong or don't like them personally. I just don't like the way they present it, and that's cool. But I also see that everybody else is there. But I mean, I'll jump in another one where everybody's cool, everybody's kicking it. So it's like, no matter what your flavor is, whatever your style is, you will find it out there when it comes to Niners content. I don't think there's another fan base out there that puts out as much content as this fan base does. So, I mean, whatever your style is, you will find it.
Oh, for sure. Like, there's so many guys, like, literally, like, it's a little bit ridiculous, I'm not going to lie. Because you can find more casual ones. You can find ones that really go into stats and, like, go really in depth. You can find whatever you want. So, it's great.
I've been following those guys over at Real Talk, Niner Talk for a while. Good group of guys. I like them.
Cool. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, do any of you guys want to put in your predictions or no?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Daniel, Kev, I think you're the last two we were waiting for to put in predictions. We got Damien's up here, if I can find his again. Damien put 34-17, so he's going a little bit above the over-under.
Okay.
Not even close. Is that your score prediction? Well, I think that's all.
I think that's it, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for our stream, for our divisional news recap playoff stream. Hope you guys had some fun. I believe the schedule for Sunday is our main guy TJ is doing the pregame. You're doing halftime, Jason?
As always.
And then I shall be doing the postgame show. So hopefully we come out with a win. Please. And stuff. But it's just gonna be a fun day. But definitely if you want to keep up with us, guys, like I always said at the beginning of the show, follow us on our Twitter. We're at Niner FIFA R on Twitter. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Niner FIFA Radio. There should be posts with the schedule coming out pretty soon, I'm assuming.
TJ we usually put them up Saturday, so they usually go Saturday sometime.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on those so that you guys can get definitely get an idea of when we're gonna go live. Since I'll probably be home for the second half of the game, I might go on a little bit earlier. Like I probably will try to go on maybe like half an hour after the game is ended and stuff, and after some of the post game press conferences go through. But we definitely keep posting our socials so that way you guys can keep up with that. So
I'll be posting all day long with all my shit talking.
Oh, for sure. I hate predictions, but I'm going to go 27-13 Niners. Awesome.
I will take it. It's a win no matter what.
For real. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Well, have a great
We've gone an hour.
I know. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Have a great playoff weekend. And as always, go Niners. Bang, bang, Niner Gang.
Bang, bang, Niner Gang.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.